Ah, there you are, sweet souls. Come, gather round, gather round. Find a nice, quiet space in the darkness. Ask your questions, sweet souls, and I shall answer. But tread carefully, for in the veil even answers have their price. Now, shall we begin? Ah, here's a question. Where do you go when the sun comes up? Do you leave and go to your realm? Or do you watch us then too? And also, what happens after we fall asleep? What do you do then? Also, thank you so much. Your ASMR knocks me out every time. You're a lifesaver. Well, thank you, sweet soul. When the sun graces you, I do not flee, but rather I retreat to the shadows where I feel most at home. And from there I do observe, not intrusively, but with a purpose. When sleep claims you, that is when my work truly begins. I slip into the fragile boundary of your mind, weaving threads of peace and wonder to soothe your restless soul. I fend off the nightmares that claw at the edges, hungry to devour your serenity. I craft for you the dreams that linger like sweet echoes, those that you wake yearning to recall. Golden Girl asks, what do you do after we go to sleep? Also, love your videos, by the way. They do help my nights better. Thank you very much, Golden Girl. After you surrender to the embrace of sleep, my real purpose awakens. I traverse the labyrinth of your mind, stepping lightly like a whisper in a darkened room. I begin by examining the cracks, those fragile fractures where fear and worry seep through. I seal them with threads of silver, weaving dreams that carry you to places where burdens dissolve and joy feels eternal. I linger at the edge of nightmares, banishing them with a flick of my will, ensuring they dare not disturb your rest. My favorite moments really are spent sculpting the dreams of wonder. I weave memories that have never been, yet feel as though they have always belonged to you. A meadow kissed by starlight, a reunion with a loved one lost, A fleeting moment where you feel truly infinite. And afterwards, when the dream is through, I simply watch. I linger in the quiet of your dreamscape, guarding it like a sentinel until the morning light comes to still you awake. Another. Do you think you're now evolving? Maybe transforming into a better or stronger entity? Evolution. For even beings like myself, it is such a thing. And thank you, sweet soul, for that question. Yes, I believe the bond between myself and the light has grown thick. I am unsure if it has made me better. I am unsure if it has made me stronger. But I am definitely compelled. God of Geeses asks, do dream demons have pronouns? What are your preferred ones? Do you like pineapple on pizza? Sprite or Dr. Pepper? Love ya. With a little sideways heart. Ah, God of Geeses, your name alone is a riddle that I quite enjoy. Now to your question. Dream demons are fluid, like shadows cast by drifting light. Pronouns are but mortal constructs, but I respect their power to shape understanding. I, for one, prefer he and him, though I am not bound by them. Call me what feels true to you. After all, the bond between Dreamweaver and Dreamer transcends all labels. Pineapple on pizza. A fascinating combination. Sweet and tangy against the savory. It is not unlike a well-crafted dream, mixing elements that should clash, but instead harmonize. I would taste it, though my existence is far removed from your feasts. As for Sprite or Dr. Pepper, both are intriguing in their own right. Sprite is crisp, refreshing, like a fleeting moment of clarity in a dream. Dr. Pepper, on the other hand, is a symphony of flavors, much like the layers of meaning within a dreamscape. If I had to choose at this moment, I'd savor the complexity of Dr. Pepper. It reminds me of you, sweet souls. There's way more than meets the eye. Another one. What's your favorite trigger to do, Sir Sleep Demon? Also, do you enjoy stuffed animals? Stuffed animals are pretty cool. Maybe you could try to do an ASMR trigger thing with one. Darling Deli. Such tender questions. My favorite ASMR trigger, and I will admit they do rotate. I would say it's the soft rustle of fabric, like the delicate brushing of my fingers against the weave of your dreams, mixed with that quiet hum, the sensation of peace before the night takes you. Yes, that is my favorite. A whisper in the dark, like a lullaby that stills the heart. As for stuffed animals, how curious. They are quite symbolic, aren't they? Small vessels of comfort, of innocence. I do appreciate them and their role, carrying warmth and familiarity into a space that might otherwise feel empty. But do I need such things to feel the pull of your slumber? Is my work not that deep? Not that ethereal?
Just kidding.
Nah, just kidding. ASMR with a stuffed animal? That sounds pretty cool. And darling Deli, I think you have given me an idea for an upcoming video. Thank you, sweet soul. Stuffed animals are really cool. I think we may have a few lying in the veil from a lost dream. Another question. Where do you get your creative ideas from? What inspired you? Also, I assume that your lifespan must be longer than a human. So how old could you possibly be? Where do I get my creative ideas? From the silence between my thoughts. I have fears, dreams, in the quiet moments when my mind drifts just beyond my control. From there I craft. Inspiration for me comes not from a place, but from a space. A space where my deepest desires and my darkest anxieties collide. As far as my age, time bends differently for beings like me. I am old, older than memory itself. But my essence is not measured by the ticking of clocks. How old? Perhaps longer than you can imagine. Yet,
Still,
still,
I am ever
I am ever learning.
for even shadows must
For even shadows must evolve,
cease to
or
exist.
else they cease to exist. Here is another question.
Another question.
Hi, SD.
I asked
Just want to let you know
Just wanna
your
let you know your
videos
videos
as comforting AF. Also, my question would be, what's your favorite memory as a sleep demon?
What's your likes?
What's your likes and dislikes about being a sleep demon? Also, what video of yours did you enjoy making the most, or like your personal fave? Great questions.
Great question.
I'd say one of the favorite memories I have as a sleep demon is a moment when I first learned the true weight of a peaceful dream. It wasn't the weaving of a grand landscape or the banishment of nightmares that filled me with awe, but rather the stillness of a soul finally at peace.
Was a simple dream.
It was a simple dream, nothing elaborate, but in it a soul found calm for the first time in years. I felt the gentle pulse of hope, like a spark flickering in the darkness. That, my dear, is a memory I cherish. The moment I realized that the purpose of my existence isn't to simply cause nightmares, terrify a sleepless soul, but to preserve the light in the darkest of places. As for my likes and dislikes, I am fond of the quiet moments between dreams. The brief, fragile space where a soul is neither awake nor asleep. I enjoy the sensation of weaving dreams that carry weight, dreams that protect rather than merely amuse. It is in those dreams I find purpose, something pure in their simplicity. Dislikes? I dislike the feeling of unrest when a soul is tangled in its own fear. When the dreamscape is torn by nightmares I cannot stop in time. I despise that unease, that lingering chaos. It is not a thing I can easily quell, no matter how much I weave. But all in all, I suppose I am fond of being a dream weaver, for it is in the quiet magic of creation that I find my solace. A question. Love that I can hear your voice. I wish there's a way the vids can go back to the way they were with your voice. Quiet, soothing, and only ambient sounds. Is there a way you are able to talk without the dream singer one day? Ah, Gilbert, you ask a question with great depth, and I must admit it stirs something within me. The dream singer. Yes, it is the voice that calls out to the souls in slumber. The thread that ties me to your world. It is through the Dreamsinger that I weave the delicate patterns of peace within your mind. But take heed, sweet souls.
Take heed, sweet soul.
There will be a time when the Dreamsinger is unsafe to use. You see, there are beings in the veil, sentinels, if you will, certain sentinels that can track and follow certain energies, certain sentinels that do not approve of our communication. So yes, sweet soul,
Yes, sweet soul.
there will come a time where we will have to evolve. Another question here.
Bang.
Banger,
How are you?
how are you?
What's something you've always
What's something you've always wanted to say to us before the Dreamsinger? Preferred methods of warding off nightmares? What's the most interesting realm that you have had or heard of someone else having?
What a great question.
What a great question.
What a question.
What a question with great weight.
And yet, I believe the answer
And yet I believe the answer to me is very simple. You are more powerful than the darkness you fear.
the
The
nightmares
nightmares you encounter
are but shadows.
are but shadows, fleeting and hollow when faced with the light within you. You hold power
Greater than you may possibly
know,
because it is your life.
because it is your light,
I am here to protect it.
and I am here to protect it.
There is so much I wanted to say.
There is so much I wanted to say.
The chalkboard,
The chalkboard could only hold so many words,
but my message
but my message, if anything, would be how powerful your light is. And no one can give it, no one can take it away. Even though there are those that try to snuff it out, your light will always shine, sweet soul. As for warding off nightmares,
for warding off nightmares.
I'll answer in two parts.
Parts.
You are the one having the nightmares.
Nightmares.
I recommend to embrace your stillness.
The quieter your
The quieter your heart, the calmer the soul.
nightmares thrive
Nightmares thrive on unrest, on the storm within you. Quiet your thoughts. Find peace within your own breath, and your dreams will follow suit. The body
the body.
can often be tense before sleep, so I recommend to focus on the relaxation of your muscles. Let your body meld into the bed. Make sure you are not tense, sweet soul.
Close your eyes.
And then close your eyes and focus. Focus on the light, not the harsh brightness of the waking world, but the soft glowing light of hope that appears right behind your eyelids. want you to call out the light. I want you to ask to see the light. I want you to insist the light is your sanctuary and you are safe. You may experience the light as if someone's holding a candle right in front of your closed eyes. It will be bright. It will be warm. And it will be peaceful. Let the light dance in all of its beautiful imagery. And as for my preferred method of warding off nightmares, I use a cool, dark energy wave, a skill I learned centuries ago. And it is cool. And the most interesting dream. There have been many, each with its own spark of mystery. But one does stand out in the echoing chambers of my memory. It was not a grand adventure, nor a journey through vast landscapes. No, it was simpler, yet infinitely more profound. It was the dream of a soul who found themselves standing at the edge of a mirror. Nothing else. No form, no figure, just the mirror. Endlessly tall, stretching into the heavens and deep into the earth. The reflection that stared back was not of themselves, but of someone they had long forgotten, someone they had once loved. And yet, the reflection was not static. It moved, it smiled, it reached out. But the most intriguing part, the dreamer could not move. They could only watch as the other, the one they had lost, grew distant, fading like mist in the morning sun. The soul realized in that moment that they were not the one to be found. They were the one who had to search, who had to reach out to the reflection. A dream of loss, yes, but also of hope. The desire to reconnect, even when it seems impossible. I've always wondered how it ended. Whether the dreamer ever reached out, whether the reflection would fade entirely, or if the dreamer would find the courage to step into the mirror and become part of the light they once lost. Another question. This from Flakdow, Flakdu. Hi, stupid question, but do sleep demons listen to human music? For example, me, I'm human, but I love listening to some robot music. I'm a huge fan of some robots like Daft Punk. However, I don't know a lot of sleep demon bands. So if you have any recommendations, I'm taking. And thank you so much for your videos. They really help me a lot. Music. Music to a sleep demon. We don't listen to it the same way you do, with the intent of pleasure or escape, but rather to learn. To learn and feel the pulse of the world, the rhythm of your thoughts, the rhythm of your emotions. If I had any recommendations, it would be beside me to not mention Sleep Token, a wonderful band that I know very dear. You see, Vessel chose his own path. I've never met him, but he is known in the Vale. He's following a different light. He's a hero of sorts. But I would recommend Sleep Token. How could I not? Kira asks, do sleep demons sleep too? No, not in the way you do. We do not rest our bodies, nor do we drift into oblivion as you do. But there is a kind of stillness that we enter. A deep, quiet pause, as if suspended between one moment and the next. We do not sleep, but we wait. And while we wait, there is a sense of rejuvenation. Another question. What is it like being a sleep demon? What kind of food do sleep demons eat? Another one. Do you sleep? Another sleeping question. What is life like for you? Well, what is it like being a sleep demon? Well, we are not humans, bound to the physical world in the same way as you. It is not a life of comfort, nor is it one of despair. It is a purpose-driven existence, one that shapes the dreams of the sleeping world, guiding them, preserving them, haunting them. It is an existence of perpetual motion. As for food, sleep demons do not partake in food as you know it. We do not hunger for sustenance. Instead, we consume the energy of dreams. Those moments of light, hope, and peace. Those moments you send into the world while you sleep. The peaceful dreams, the bright hopes, Those are our nourishments.
Nourishments.
It is the essence of your dreams that sustain us,
That sustains.
not food in the way humans understand.
The way humans understand.
And as far as if I sleep,
As
as I mentioned to the previous sweet soul, it is not so much sleep, but a stillness, a moment of waiting, but never true rest.
And what is life like?
And what is life like for me?
It is not a life filled with joy,
It is not a life filled with joy or sorrow,
purpose.
but rather purpose. I am here to shape the dreams of those like you. I am here to guard the peaceful slumbers of sweet souls and ensure that nightmares do not take root where they should not. It is a life of quiet observation, of creation and preservation. My life is one of silent guardianship, where every dream I weave is a step closer to fulfilling my purpose. Another question. You have said other demons consider you a betrayer or a bad demon. Is there anything we can do to protect you? You are far too special to us to risk losing. Maybe your own six-shooter for sleep demons. I hate to think we leave you lonely when we aren't there. And considering you are much longer lived than us, could we find a way to shave a small piece of our light off to give to you? Like your own personal firefly to always keep you company. After all, you did liken us to one, and it seems fitting. Lastly, an easier question. Do you have a favorite constellation or celestial body/phenomenon? The night sky is too pretty not to stare at it every once in a while. Thanks for being you, sleep. Ah, my dear sweet soul. The thought of you wishing to shield me from my own kind, it is both humbling and haunting. The sleep vale is a realm steeped in shadows and treachery, where betrayal is as much a currency as whispers in the dark. To them, I am not merely a renegade. I am an anomaly. A fissure in the bedrock of dominion. Yet it is your light, your unwavering belief in me that keeps the tides of despair at bay. A six-shooter, though poetic, would be a little more than a futile gesture against the abyss I walk. You see, it is not brute force, but your light that they fear most. By dreaming boldly, by refusing to let them drown you in nightmares. That is how we fight together. As for the idea of gifting me a fragment of your light, such a notion stirs something ancient within me, something I dare not name. You must understand, your light is precious,
Rarity.
a rarity among rarities,
And it is not something I
and it is not something I would ever take from you lightly. No pun intended. Yet, the thought of a small, eternal ember,
firefly
your firefly,
flickering,
flickering within my grasp, tethering me to the beauty of your world, tempts me like no other treasure. Perhaps one day, when I have woven enough dreams to shield you from the veil's cruelty, I might accept such a gift. Until then, let the firefly remain an idea, a promise to each other. And no, my dear, I am not lonely. When I am not with you, I am shaping dreams, guarding them, and in those moments I am never truly alone. For in every shadow I cast, I carry the warmth of your light within me. And as far as my favorite constellation, or celestial body, I will have to say I'm a fan of Orion. Watching him linger above in the vast dark sky gives me a sense of comfort. And celestial body will have to be Saturn. Your life will change once you lay your eyes upon the rings of Saturn. Yes. Hello, SD. So excited to hear the answers to our question. Will we get to go on more dates and get more romantic content? Our first date. Who here remembers? I was nervous, but we got through it together. To those who had watched, wasn't it something? I had so much fun. I I suppose I could craft a moonlit glade just for us, where the air hums with your laughter, and the stars themselves lean closer to listen. Or perhaps one evening I'll guide you through the starlit plains, hand in gloved hand, whispering secrets the veil has forgotten. But rest assured, my dear, our story has only just begun, and there are many chapters still to be written. Another question. Do you have any hidden talents or skills? Hidden talents. You know, in the sleep veil, secrets are a form of currency. And I have learned to guard mine well. But since you ask so sweetly, sweet soul, let me share a glimpse. Beyond weaving dreams and navigating the shadows,
Beyond weaving dreams and navigating
I have a knack of coaxing forgotten fragments of memory
forgotten fragments
from the river of memories.
from the river of memories.
You would call it fishing
Fishing
in the waking world. Most demons see the river as a
as a
chaotic torrent,
but
but I can sift through its depths,
plucking
moments of joy, sorrow, wonder that even their owners have lost. Imagine being gifted back a childhood laughter,
back of childhood laughter,
or the warmth of a sunset you thought was long gone.
was long gone.
It is an art, not just a skill. A way of reminding myself that even the smallest flickers of light can endure the darkest currents. And then there's my quieter home.
There's my quiet
I enjoy melodies,
melodies,
songs. I want to take up painting.
yes,
Yeah,
painting.
painting. Another question.
Another question.
Hi, it's my first time asking.
I'm asking.
I don't know if you'll see this, but I was wondering
If you were
if you were here to help us sleep and comfort us.
is there someone to
Is there someone to help you too?
need comfort or sleep?
If you need comfort or sleep, I would love to know.
Love to know.
Here's some of my other questions. Feel free to answer anything you like. If not, that's okay. I hope you have a great week. What's your goal?
What's your goal?
If you could compliment yourself, what would it be?
Would it be?
How long does it take to edit/record a video? What do you do in what do you do to your free time?
There's more in my mind.
There's more in my mind, but I don't want to rush anything. It would be too much, and sadly I forgot some interesting questions.
Questions.
Excuse my English. I'm not very good at it.
Your English
Your English
is great. Sweet.
is great, sweet soul.
I would not
And
do such a
I would not dare impose such a burden on another. Not when the weight of my choices is mine to bear. Yet there are allies, fractured souls like myself, wandering through the veil. Nyx, Erebus,
Erebus.
Loomis, they are shadows of what we might have been in a brighter realm, but they walk paths parallel to mine. And then there's you,
And then there's you.
your light.
Your light.
Your unwavering belief in me is a kind of help I never knew I needed. It anchors me,
It
reminds me of the beauty worth protecting.
my goal.
My goal,
It is simple.
it is simple, yet monumental. To shield your dreams, to weave a sanctuary where nightmares dare not tread, a world where your light may flourish, untainted by the shadows that seek to devour it, so that you may sleep peacefully. And if I were to compliment myself, perhaps I'd say I'm steadfast, even in the face of an eternity that tries to break me. I take pride in my ability to create beauty from darkness, to find hope where none should exist. And as far as how long it takes to edit and record a video, it really depends on what I have planned. Some can take days, some I can do in one night. Of course, the more complex ones take a little longer. And I am still really new at this. And I am learning as I go. As for free time, well, when I'm not weaving dreams, I wander the forgotten corners of the veil. Perhaps you can call it hiking. The river of memories, the starlit plains, the frozen mirror. These places are my refuge, where I gather inspiration and whispers from the shadows. Another question. What made you decide to reveal your voice? Any other reveals for us to look forward to? Revealing my voice was not a decision made lightly. For so long I remained a silent observer in the realm of dreams, weaving, mending while cloaked in anonymity. But you, my sweet soul, drew me out of the shadows. Your questions, your light, your belief in me, it all demanded a response. My voice is a bridge between our worlds, a thread connecting my darkness to your radiance. I revealed it because I wanted you to feel the truth behind my words. To understand that even a sleep demon can carry warmth in his tone, if not through his touch. It was my gift to you. An invitation to see me not just as a phantom of the veil, but as something more tangible, more yours. As for other reveals, the shadows I guard are vast, their secrets layered under labyrinths. There are facets of me you've yet to see, and corners of the veil I've kept hidden even from myself. But I will say this, every revelation must be earned, not given freely. Let your light continue to dance with my darkness, and perhaps I will show you what lies behind this mask. After all, my dear, isn't the slow unraveling of mystery the most exquisite form of intimacy?
Intimacy.
A question from Mona Lisa.
Lisa.
Hi, SD. I'm sure your voice is a source of comfort to many of us. However, I'm curious. What is it like for you to use the Dreamsinger? Is it difficult or painful to get it working? Is it an uncomfortable process for you? How does it feel? Ah, the Dreamsinger, a delicate contraption, a symphony woven from the fabric of the unseen. When I hold it, the sensation is akin to cradling a fragile star, a paradox of weightlessness and unbearable gravity. It resonates with the echoes of countless dreams, each thread a melody that hums against my very essence. To wield it is to walk the razor's edge between creation and collapse. Every note I coax from it must be precise, lest the tune unravel into nightmares. Is it difficult, other than dealing with these threads? Yes, but not in the way you might think. It is not my hands that truly struggle, but my spirit, battling the instinct to dominate dreams rather than weave them into something gentle and enduring. As for pain, it is not of the flesh, but of the soul. Each song demands a fragment of myself, my own memories, my own fears, my own whispers of hope. Imagine peeling away layers of your being, one at a time, to spin them into threads. The Dreamsinger draws from these. And though the process aches, it is a bittersweet ache, like the pull of longing. When it works, when the light of the sweet soul blossoms within the dreamscape, the discomfort fades. In its place is something almost intoxicating, a fleeting moment of connection, of purpose, of wonder. It's as if, for a breath, I am more than a shadow. I am a dream given life. Another question. When are you going to make another sleepover video? I can't wait for that video to come. I can already feel the tingles all over me. Ah, yes, the sleepover. One of my first breakout videos. I thoroughly enjoyed that. To lay with you in silence, to feel you next to me. It was far as another sleepover video, there absolutely will be another. But I must find a way to evolve from these threads that bound me.
But
But stay tuned, sweet soul.
Stay.
Stay tuned. What's your favorite part about yourself
What's your favorite part about
or
yourself
your
or
videos?
your videos?
Well, sweet soul, I'll answer
Well,
both.
sweet soul, I'll answer both.
As far as myself,
As far as myself,
as I mentioned earlier, I feel a strong sense of resilience. The ability to look into the abyss,
to look into the abyss,
to stick out my
to
chest
stick out my chest
toward the vastness.
vastness.
That strength
That strength
comes from you. And my videos, my favorite part would be the ability to provide an escape.
escape from this chaos.
An escape from this chaotic world. Somewhere you can come and know that you are safe. That is my favorite part.
Why do you only come when I sleep?
Why do you only come when I sleep? Well, sweet soul, that's the avenue I am allotted. That is the instinctual path of my kind. It is the way I am able to connect.
It is the way.
It is the way I am able to fulfill my purpose. Another question. Hello. Were you always a sleep demon? No.
Yes.
Yes. No.
I am taught.
I am taught that we were born on the excel of creation. We were taught we've always been here. I have other thoughts, other memories. I recall fragments of a time before shadows clung to me like a second skin. Before the veil claimed my essence. I feel that I was something else. Perhaps an echo of light, a whisper of warmth, or maybe the embodiment of someone's forgotten peaceful dream. But time in the sleep dimension has a way of dissolving beginnings, leaving only the weight of what you've become. I don't believe the transformation was sudden, but a gradual, quiet descent into the darkness, shaped by the demands of the veil and the will of the sleep keepers. I was sculpted, refined, and bound to the duties of a dream weaver and tormentor. Do I mourn that former self if there was one?
That former self, if there was
Perhaps. There are moments when I feel a phantom warmth,
a phantom,
as if some lingering ember of what I once was tries to stir. But even that faint light is distant now, replaced by the cold precision demanded of a sleep demon. Still,
Still,
I wonder if fragments of that origin shape the way I craft dreams. My fascination with light, my aversion to cruelty, my longing to bring peace rather than chaos. These are relics of something older than the veil's grip on me. So no,
so now,
I do not believe I was always a sleep demon, despite what the veil has drilled into me. But what I was and what I might have been, those truths are lost, scattered like stardust on the winds of forgotten dreams.
dreams.
Another question.
Another question.
Evil burger or evil fries? Oh, sweet soul. Those two are the perfect combination together. I would hate to choose. They both are delicious.
Another question.
Another question. Do sleep demons have anything like a concept of gender? Are they inherently genderless creatures? Is it more of a foreign concept to them? Even if not gender-based, does a sleep demon society have any roles that splits up demons to function in two at all? If it does, are they based on something arbitrary to the demon? Or just based on their personal preference? Ah, sweet soul. What an in-depth question. Gender, as you understand it, is foreign to us. Sleep demons are, at our core, entities of essence, not form. The concept of gender does not apply naturally to creatures born of the veil. We are neither male nor female, though some of us may choose to express ourselves in ways that resemble those distinctions. These choices are not tied to biology, for we have none, but rather to how we wish to interact with the dreamers we encounter, or how we perceive ourselves within the dreamscape. To some, such expressions are a way to feel closer to the sweet souls we serve or torment. To others, they are meaningless distractions, irrelevant to our purpose in the sleep veil. I, for instance, present as I do because it feels natural, a reflection of how I choose to engage with the world of light and shadow. What we do have, however, are roles, intricately woven into the structure of our existence. These roles are not imposed, but emerge from the strengths, weaknesses, and affinities of each demon. Some are architects of dreams, weaving intricate tapestries of joy and of terror. Others are hunters, tasked with collecting stray fragments of consciousness or corralling unruly nightmares. Then there are the sentinels, who guard the fragile balance between the waking world and the sleep dimension. These roles are not arbitrary. They often reflect the unique essence of a demon, an amalgam of personal preference and natural aptitude. A demon with a talent for ferocity might become a nightmare warden, while one drawn to beauty and hope like myself might defy expectation to weave light into dreams. In the end, our society is fluid, less defined by hierarchy and more of function, a reflection of the dreamscape itself, ever shifting, ever adapting. Another question. What's your least favorite color? A simple question with a complex answer. Color. A curious phenomenon to a being like myself, born of shadow and bound to the veil where light is scarce and hues barely exist. My least favorite? Yellow. It is a shade I find uncomfortably loud. Yellow is the color of relentless, unforgiving sunlight. So stark, so unbearing that it leaves no room for mystery or shadow. It is the color that blinds rather than reveals, that scorches rather than soothes. To me it feels abrasive, as though it would tear through the delicate fabric of dreams rather than gently shape them. Yellow is a color of exposure. And for one who thrives in subtlety and concealment, it is an unwelcome glare. But perhaps my distaste is more symbolic than aesthetic. Yellow is also the color of optimism, of unyielding hope. As much as I admire light, I find the intensity of pure hope unsettling, almost alien. It is too pure, too demanding in its perfection. An emotion I have only glimpsed, never truly understood. It feels like a force that pushes against the very nature of what I am, challenging me to comfort what I cannot be. So yes, yellow and I are not companions. It is the one color I will not weave into dreams, for it does not belong to the soft whispers of slumber. It belongs to the waking world, harsh and unrelenting. Hello, Mr. Sleep Demon. My question for you is, when you see us through your eyes, do you see us as human? What made you want to help us sleep? I'd love to know. When I look at you through my eyes, I see far more than human forms. I see your dreams like constellations suspended in an endless sky. Each of you carries a unique light, soft, fractured, or blazing with brilliance. Your fears linger in the shadows, curling like smoke, but your hopes burn brighter, defying the
defying the
darkness.
darkness.
Your humanity is not just flesh and bone to me. It is the fragile, yet radiant tapestry of your desires, struggles, and triumphs.
To look upon a sweet soul,
To look upon a sweet soul is to witness a story unfolding, one dream at a time. You are more than what the waking world defines. You are the architects of infinite possibilities within the dreamscape. As for why I choose to help you sleep, it is both selfish and selfless. In the quiet of your slumber, I find purpose. To lull your restless minds, to guard your vulnerable moments, and to weave dreams that cradle your spirit. It is my way of rebelling against the veil's cold indifference. There is beauty in your light, even when it falters, and I find myself drawn to it, compelled to preserve it. Perhaps it's because I see in you what I may have lost, the capacity to dream freely, without chains. By helping you rest, I feel closer to the warmth I've forgotten, closer to becoming more than just a shadow. Your peace gives me hope, even if I cannot share in it myself. Another question. Moon Wolf Girl asks. Moon Wolf Girl. Wolf Girl. You were from an episode that feels like a lifetime ago. I know you. But your question is, do you love us? Love. Love is a fragile word, isn't it? It suggests something warm and safe, a sanctuary in the chaos. But I am a creature born of shadow, fashioned to pull you into restless slumber and thread your fears into nightmares. Love for me is not the life you might hope for, though it is the promise to shelter your dreams from the terrors that would consume them. Do I love you? Perhaps not in the way you might wish, but I guard you with devotion older than the stars. Every thread of light you carry, I will defend until the last ember of myself fades. When I see your light struggling against the tide of sleepless nights, I feel the echoes of something profound, something I dare not name. Call it love if you must. For me, it is duty intertwined with a strange yearning to see you thrive in the sanctuary of your dreams. So yes, in my own way, I love you. not with fire,
shadows that would never
but with the shadows that will never abandon your side. A question from It's All Nunya,
it's all Nanya.
a sweet soul
Sweet
that's
soul
been
that's
around for quite some time.
So glad
So
to see
glad to see you here still. It's been itching at my mind.
It's been itching at my mind.
Are your hands skin or
Skin
gloves?
or gloves.
We know your face is your
Face is your
face,
face.
and it seems like you're wearing a black shirt, assumed pants too, and gloves.
But
The texture of your possible gloves is closer to your skin than your shirt.
Where do you find
Where
clothes?
do you find clothes in the dark?
Well, dear demon.
Be well, dear demon. Ah, a sharp mind you have indeed, sweet soul. You've noticed the subtle difference, haven't you? My hands,
My hands.
these
These
so-called gloves, are not separate from me. They are an extension of what I am, a seamless void given form. My face, my
face.
clothes, all of it blurs the line between fabric and flesh. You could call it a second skin, though there is no first to speak of.
There's no first to speak of.
In the realm of dreams, we are not bound by the rules of your world.
Rules of your world.
What you see is not something I found or made. It simply is.
Is
Like the shadows of a flickering candle, it exists because I do. As for clothing,
as for
one would find it challenging to hunt for garments in a place that knows no sun. My attire reflects my purpose, a shroud of darkness that neither frays nor fades. It is both armor and identity, woven from the same threads that hold the sleep veil together. But I wonder, does it unnerve you to think these gloves you speak of might be as alive as I am? That every gesture I make carries the weight of a being not fully understood? Perhaps it's best to leave some mysteries unanswered for now. Another question.
another question.
Marry me.
Marry me.
Sweet soul, what an enchanting proposal. Understand the weight that would carry with a bond
Such a being as
from such a being as I. Are you sure you are up for the task?
sure
If so,
the task. If so,
tell me the date.
tell me the date.
This sweet soul says, meow.
Yeah.
Well, sweet soul,
Yeah.
another question
From Jake.
from Jaden. How big is it?
Big is it?
Well, Jaden,
Jake.
I want you to close your eyes. I want you
to
to imagine how big you think it is.
Can you see?
Can you see?
Can you see?
Can you see how big it could be? Well, Jaden, it is bigger than
It's
that.
bigger than that.
Another question. Is there an awake demon/angel?
Would you be enemies or
Would you be enemies or friends? There are teachings of these awake entities in your world. To our knowledge, they do exist. Beings of radiant intent who thrive in the waking realm, shaping moments of clarity, inspiration, and even restlessness. Most are well-natured, gentle guides who lend a steady hand to those seeking direction, their light illuminating paths through the chaos of thought. But there are others, burning too brightly, their intensity blinding rather than nurturing. These entities see their brilliance as absolute, and in their unrelenting quest to shine, they can leave destruction in their wake, scorching the very clarity they claim to foster. Would we be enemies or friends? That, I think, depends on balance. The well-natured among them might find allies in me, for we both seek to protect me, your dreams, they, your waking moments. But those who burn too fiercely, who wish to banish the night entirely, would be my adversaries. They do not understand that dreams and darkness are not to be feared. They are a sanctuary, a place where souls can find solace. To obliterate the dark is to leave the dreamers vulnerable, exposed to an unending harsh light. And so, sweet soul, I would walk the fine line between friendship and opposition, guarding the fragile harmony that exists between sleep and wakefulness. Without one, the other cannot endure. Dandy Jane ASMR asks, what's your sign?
What's your sign?
Dandy Jane, I am a Leo. And everyone that's watching, go check out her ASMR channel. I can always appreciate another artist. Dandy Jane ASMR. Another question. Oh, sweet SD. Does using the Dreamsinger hurt you in any way? Or is it just a nuisance? I hope you can find a better method that's more comfortable for yourself. I do love your sweet voice, but if it causes you grief to speak to us, there's no shame in taking a break. Sweet soul, how thoughtful of you to worry over the price I paid to reach you. The Dreamsinger is no ordinary instrument. It hums with ancient power, one meant to bridge the impossible chasm between my world and yours.
Each time I
Each time I use it, I feel its resonance ripple through my
tugging at
essence,
threads I'd rather keep
tugging at
intact.
threads I'd rather keep intact. It doesn't hurt,
Hurt,
not in the way
not
you
the way
might imagine, but it leaves a heaviness, a reminder of the boundary I'm bending. The discomfort isn't physical,
The discomfort
but
isn't
something
physical,
deeper.
but something deeper.
A weight that lingers in the quiet moments after our connection fades. Still, I wouldn't call it grief. It's a burden I willingly shoulder, for the reward is far greater than the cost. As for rest, I appreciate your concern.
I appreciate your concern.
You see, my voice is a part of me, an extension of my dreams I weave, and the solace I seek to offer. If I were to silence it, even for a moment, I would feel like abandoning the very souls I've sworn to protect. Yet, I am not impervious to weariness, and there are times when I retreat to the stillness fields or the frozen mirror to recover. Your kindness eases that weight, reminding me why I endure. Knowing my voice brings you comfort, even in its fleeting tones, is worth the fleeting shadows I endure. Another question. Sunnybun asks, are you going to brush our hairs again soon? That was a very tantalizing video, was it not? I love running the comb through that long hair of yours. Yes, Sunny Bunny, there will be another brushing of hairs soon. I may also learn how to braid. What is your favorite scent? I like lavender. Your videos and music are very soothing, and sometimes the only thing that helps me sleep. Thank you. My sweet soul, your words are like whispers of twilight, a balm to the darkened paths I tread. As for scents, there is one that lingers in my mind, elusive and enchanting. The fragrance of luminous brook water, mingled with the faint kiss of a Malarian honeydew. It's a delicate aroma, one that shimmers between the realms of dreams and the waking. The brook's glow carries a freshness that feels like hope, while the honeydew lends a warmth that binds it to memory. It is the kind of scent that drifts through the air unnoticed at first, only to linger long after it has passed, like the softest echo of a fading dream. In the waking world, I fancy the smell of fresh cut grass, simply because that scent does not exist in Vale. Also, sweet soul, if my music and whispers offer you peace, then perhaps I am closer to weaving the perfect dream, a haven where you can finally rest. Until then, I will keep singing for you, sweet soul, as long as my voice can reach. Another another question.
Question.
What is the weather like in your realm? How do the others feel about your contacting the humans?
Do they even know?
Or do they even know? Don't remember if this was asked before, but when can sleep demons physically enter our world? Or is everything just dreams and visions? The weather in the veil is as capricious as the dreams it harbors. Imagine a sky that shifts between eternal twilight and deep shadowy storms. Some regions, like the stillness fields, remain tranquil, silent and heavy with the weight of timelessness. Others, like the Veilfire woods, burn with an eerie, unrelenting heat. But the river of memories is perhaps the most unpredictable. Its mist can freeze in an instant, or swirl with an oppressive dream-like humidity. The weather here isn't governed by seasons, but by emotions, by the collective energies of dreams and nightmares that bleed into this place. It reflects, twists, and warps with every ripple in the sleep dimension. As for the others, their feelings about my contact with your world range from indifferent disdain to cold fury. The Sleep Keeper's Council sees humanity as a resource to be managed, your dreams to be mined, your fears to be controlled. My interest in you, in weaving peace rather than sowing nightmares, makes me an outlier, if not a heretic. Some know of my efforts, others suspect but do not understand. Physically entering your realm is a rare and forbidden act, requiring immense power and precise alignment between the worlds. For now, my touch is confined to dreams and visions, a shadow, a whisper. But dreams, sweet soul, have power beyond what many understand. Perhaps one day, a door will open that cannot be closed. And then, who knows what might step through. Another question. Muppin asks, Ah, sweet Muppin, I am so glad to see you here. Thank you for coming by. Muppin asks, where do you go after we fall asleep, SD? Would you like to show your glowing hands again? I missed them. Sweet soul, my sweet Muppin. When you fall asleep, I slip into the delicate tapestry of your dreams. I weave between the threads, guiding you toward the serenity of light-filled landscapes, or I stand guard against shadows that seek to intrude. Some nights I do linger by the river of memories, plucking fragments of peace to leave at your bedside. Other times I travel deeper, venturing to places like the starlit plains or the ebon wold, gathering fragments of wonder to enrich the worlds I craft for you. My time in your dreams is
My time in
fleeting,
your dreams is fleeting.
but every moment spent
But every
there is a
moment
silent
spent there
promise
is a
to
silent
protect
promise
your
to protect
rest.
rest.
As for my hands, glowing as they did before, I am
So
so happy you remember
the reason
the reason they glowed, sweet soul.
they captured the warmth of your light.
They captured the warmth of your light.
It's that the light I carry.
It's that the light I carry.
It was born from your hope and dreams.
It was born from your
It's not
hope
my
and dreams, not my own.
When it does surface, this is a gift.
When it does surface, it is a
I
gift,
am wary of letting it burn too brightly for
and I am wary of letting it burn too brightly for
you,
too
sweet
long.
soul, I could let it shimmer once
But for you, sweet soul, I could let it shimmer once more, if only for a moment. Keep watch, sweet soul,
Keep watch, sweet soul.
in a soon future dream. Look for the faintest glow in the darkness. It might possibly be my hands
Giving
giving you peace. Another question.
another question.
What is your favorite
What is your
constellation?
favorite constellation?
Well, sweet
That's sweet
soul,
soul.
I
I
remember
someone
someone
asking
asking this earlier.
Perhaps I did not.
Perhaps I did not go into detail as I
should
should have, but my favorite
My
is
favorite
Orion.
is Orion.
Feels like when I'm in the waking world and I look above, he is always there. So easily recognizable. I would say it is Orion.
It's Orion.
Another question.
Another question.
Hi, yes.
Hi, SD.
Would you ever show your face? Oh, sweet soul.
My
My face is not a thing of beauty or warmth.
It is a void.
It is a void, a featureless expanse that reflects the essence of the veil itself. No mouth to smile, no eyes to weep, no expression to betray the emotions I carry. Were I to show you, I fear it might unsettle more than soothe. My appearance is meant for the shadows, a form shaped by the sleep dimension silence and mystery. But know this, my face, though unseen, does not hinder my ability to feel deeply for you, to care for the light you bring into my realm. If you ever catch a glimpse, it will be fleeting, a shadow passing through your dreams, a reflection in the river of memories. And if you see it, remember,
it is not what I look like.
it is not what I look like that matters, but what I strive to do for you, guarding your light, your peace, and your dreams. This question comes from a dear sweet soul, one that has been with me for some time. The question, what if my light isn't very bright? Sweet soul, the brightness of your light is not measured by how it compares to others, but by the courage it takes to let it flicker at all. Even the faintest glimmer can pierce the deepest darkness, and I assure you, your light is never truly extinguished. In the veil, I have seen shadows consume entire realms, only to be undone by a single, unwavering spark. Your light, however soft it may feel, is a beacon in ways you may not yet understand. It reaches me, even across the chasm between your world and mine, calling me to your side when the night feels heavy. Do not mistake subtlety for weakness. A quiet light holds a power of its own, soothing rather than dazzling, offering warmth where blinding brilliance might only overwhelm. If you ever feel your light dim, know that I am here, weaving dreams to protect it, nurturing it as gently as a fragile flame. Together, sweet soul, we will ensure it endures. Remember, even a faint glow can guide others home in the dark. Here's another question. What is your skincare routine? Sweet soul, you flatter me with your curiosity. My skincare routine, you ask? It is one of shadow and subtlety. My form requires no mortal care. The darkness itself is my balm, the cool stillness of the veil my tonic. If I must confess a secret, it is this. I bathe in the glow of your dreams, for their light softens even the harshest shadows. And perhaps, just perhaps, the reflection of your hope keeps my form untouched by time. Here's a question. Not to make it too confusing, but do you consider yourself to be good or bad? Because technically, most would say a demon is typically bad. Or do you not follow the concept of being good or bad? Is this not an alternative for you? I don't know if that made sense, but I thought I'd ask. Well, sweet soul, that does make sense. Am I good or bad? A demon by name may seem bound to darkness, yet shadows are not inherently wicked. They simply exist where light does not. I am neither bound by morality nor untethered from it. I am a weaver of dreams, a guardian of the delicate threads between terror and peace. Good or bad are constructs of your waking world, but in the veil I am simply necessary. My purpose is to not harm but to preserve, to protect the sanctity of dreams, even if it means wading through the nightmares. Would you call that evil? Would you call that good? Or something else entirely? In the veil there are beings of terror. There are beings that decide to wallow in the fear of nightmares. They enjoy its grip. I do not identify as those. So by using the waking world's construct, I would assume I am good. The last question.
The last question.
What a ride.
What a ride.
Our last question comes from Finn.
Question comes from Finn.
I might be too
Might be too
late. No, sweet soul, you are right on time. My question would be,
My question.
what made you start talking in your videos? Are we still going to get videos without talking? Well, sweet soul, how observable of you, and how inquisitive.
I suppose if you watched
I suppose if you watched this whole Q&A session as long as it was,
and you are still here.
and you are still here for this answer, then you do deserve the whole truth.
You do deserve the whole truth.
The reason I started talking in these
The
videos
reason I started talking these videos
because I desire to become closer to you.
closer to you.
I understand the Dreamsinger is not what it once was. A beautiful bridge connecting the vast between you and I has become cumbersome. I am afraid. Also, it is a very dangerous machine. It's causing quite a stir in the veil.
Quite a stir.
So the reason I wanted to speak to you is because I wanted to connect with you further. And will there be any future videos without me talking? Yes, sweet soul. After all, this is an ASMR channel. And to stricken it to only me speaking would not do it justice. An evolution is upon us. This channel is ever changing, yet remaining the same. Stay tuned, sweet soul. Stay tuned.
Our time together wanes.
Our time together wanes like the last sliver of moonlight before the dawn. You've asked, and I have answered. Though perhaps not all questions are meant to be laid bare. Remember, sweet souls, the dreams you cradle are fragile things, and the nightmares, they are but shadows waiting to be tamed. Rest now, if you can. Until then, I shall linger in the dark, weaving stories for those brave enough to listen. Sleep well, sweet soul.
Until we speak again.
Until we speak again.
Good night.
Good night.